Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chase and this is All Things Random. Today we are finally doing the deep dive review in the watch itself from DIY Watch Club. Specifically, this is going to be the Expedition Series DWC-D02. Now, I have already built this watch. If you're unfamiliar with DIY Watch Club, I have done a previous video where I built this watch specifically. This is the Expedition Series, again, DWC-D02, but I've also done a dive watch from DIY Watch Club. And honestly, that dive watch, that bezel on that is such a great bezel. It is one of my favorite dive watches. Anyway, I will link the build video to this watch right here. And in just a moment, I will link the dive watch also just behind it. If you guys are interested, the dive watch was a 3-part series. This is just a 2-part series. And if you're just interested in the watch itself, DIY Watch Club does give you the ability to only purchase the watch itself. Now, DIY Watch Club specifically gives you kits or allows you to purchase kits where you can case your own watch. I say case your own watch because you're not building like the movement or anything like that. They give you like an NH35 or an NH72, which is what's in this watch, and they give you the components to build the watch yourself. So they give you the dial, the hands, the movement holder, the chapter ring that's in this watch, the case, right? They give you everything you need to basically assemble your own watch. In fact, on the back, it says hand assembled because you are putting it together yourself. It's pretty awesome. And honestly, if you're really into watches, I think you'd have a great time building it yourself. However, this video specifically, I am not gonna build a watch because I've already built the watch. I am reviewing this watch as a whole, as a watch itself, as a, well, is it any good? Anyway, let's just flip the camera around and dive right into the review of this watch. Now, when you look at the watch, you can honestly say, yes, it does take some styling points from something like the Rolex Explorer. However, at this point in watchmaking, you know, we have 100+ years of watchmaking. There are going to be some similarities. However, with the smooth bezel, the applied indices, and everything else, it's really hard to deny that it does have some Rolex Explorer-esque styling to it. However, this watch is very, very different, and let's talk about why it's different. Now, they say this is a 38mm case, and we're gonna measure that in just a minute. 316L stainless steel all around, so it is the, quote, industrial standard. The DWC Expedition is offered with both mineral or sapphire crystals. It's one of those drop downs that you can either choose one or the other option. However, I'd recommend going with the sapphire because the price difference is extremely minimal. Now, it does have a rear Expedition caseback showing off the NH72 that I mentioned earlier. Now, the movement is by Seiko, and the one thing that I really love about this is it is a no-date movement, so there's not going to be any ghost positions. If anybody has ever had a watch that has an NH35 with no date, and you have that pesky date ghost first pull of the crown, well, guess what? This doesn't have it, and it's because of the dial. It's very important. If you look at the dial has some translucency to it. So it's like a skeletonized watch, but it's not. In fact, one of the things that I really don't like about some skeleton watches is the fact that the movement is just so overbearing that it's very difficult to read the watch. The way they did this dial, and they say the dial is a sapphire dial, is it's more smoked than anything else. And this is something that I just haven't seen too often. So I really like when watch companies do these unique things with unique materials. So it really just gives you that cool vibe of a skeletonized watch without all the hassle of a skeletonized watch. If there's one thing that I love about automatic watches is that movement that is just the beating soul of the watch itself. So it's cool to be able to see it the way they display it. Now, one of the things I do also like about this watch are the mixture of finishing on the watch. You can see that it does have a brushed finishing on the side. It does have a screw down case back. They say 100 meters of water resistance. However, that crown is not a screw down crown. You can see along the corners there, they do have some chamfered edges, so it does have a nice little pop. Then along that bezel is a highly polished bezel, just given a really great pop. Really loved what they did. Now, the most important thing for everybody are the actual measurements of the watch. Now, is this a 38 millimeter watch? Well, I can tell you that it is a 38 millimeter watch, just over 38 millimeters, lug to lug at 45, so very small footprint. Depth is only 12, and then of course the lug size is 20, so it'll basically fit everything. Now here it is on my 7¼ inch wrist. Honestly, that small footprint of only 45 millimeter lug to lug makes it wear actually perfectly. You know, honestly, the Expedition Series watch is meant to go outdoors, and if it does go outdoors, it needs to fit underneath a long sleeve cuff very comfortably, and I can tell you that this absolutely does just the trick. Again, love that smoke dial, love the way it fits on my wrist. It's extremely light, and on this applied rubber strap, it's just extremely comfortable. I've been wearing it for a few days now, and I can tell you that it's not very heavy, it's not very light, it's just a perfect size overall. Now, what do you guys think? Do you think it is worth the price point? Now, you can pick these watches up for just under 300 bucks, and honestly, I think you're getting a hell of a deal for what you're getting. Now, you also can purchase other things on the website. You can mod the watches, you can get different dials, different hands, you can get different tool kits. There's so much on the website. I will link it down below. My recommendation is to explore the website. In no way am I an affiliate of this, so if you click that link, it is just taking you directly to the website itself. Now, if you like videos like this, hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a comment on the content you guys would like to see. On this channel, I have a lot of videos coming up in the future. I have a pile of stuff right here to review, and I'm basically going to be trying to release a video every 2 to 3 days. Now, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to pump out videos as much as I can because I am taking a short break here in the near future. So I'm trying to fill in those gaps so there's no more lagging with the reviews. You guys deserve more and better. Anyway, make sure you guys are hitting that notification bell so you can be notified when I drop that next video. Until next time.